Hey YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on that transmission. So we're going to put a new pan in, or excuse me, a new gasket pan, a new filter on there, and load it up with new trans fluid. We already loosened the solenoid pack on the side of the valve body like I talked about in the last video, and I think that's supposed to bypass the torque converter. So not 100% sure on that. You know, if you guys know, leave a comment down below, but that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to service it up, start it up, and then put it in drive. And if it doesn't die, then I think that solenoid pack needs to be changed, and or we possibly need to look at that momentary switch. If that's the problem, I think what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect that momentary switch. It may be stuck for some reason, I don't know why, but it may be stuck. So that'll probably be our next troubleshooting procedure. But I'll show you guys everything we're going to do, underneath the truck. So here we go. All right, if you guys look over here, this is the solenoid pack right here. It's kind of hard to point to, but this thing right here, this is our torque converter lockup solenoid. So we had to loosen that. There's 3 of these T25. There's one here, and one over here. We're loosening this up to provide a gap so the fluid will bypass it. If that's the case, we'll just replace this and continue on. All right, so we got the pan back on. Put in a new drain valve or drain plug. That thing was stripped out, so it'll be a lot easier to take care of things. What we're going to do now is we're going to fill it up. We're going to service it to full. I think it's about 9 quarts is what this pan and transmission holds, and then we're going to see if we could put it in drive. And if it doesn't stall out, we know we got a bad solenoid pack. So that's where we're going to go from here. All right, guys. So we serviced her up. We got about 8 quarts of trans fluid in there. I know it says 9, but we're going to go from there, and then we're going to start her up. So. And let her run, let her circulate. All right, so we're gonna put it in drive right now and see if she dies. Hopefully she stays alive, so here we go. Good news. Alright guys, so we realized that when we put it in drive, hold on just a second. Put it in drive, I want to hear it so I can hear it. Park. Reverse. Neutral, drive. And if you guys hear that different sound of the exhaust, like it's trying to lock up, what it's doing is it's actually, that solenoid is spaced out right now. With that solenoid spaced out, that torque converter does not have enough hydraulic fluid or pressure to actually stall the motor. So we're hoping that's a good sign. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below, but from my troubleshooting, that's it. So we're thinking that that solenoid is just not allowing it to lock up because it's spaced off, the fluid's bypassing it, and we should be good. So I think we're gonna call that guy back and possibly order a torque converter lockup solenoid. All right, guys, taking a little beer break, as you guys just seen in that last clip, that where it was leaking from. That, when you get those nuts or those bolts in weird places you can't get out, that's kind of what that was. It sucked. Finally got it out. We're taking that out. What I'm going to do is we're just going to clean off that fitting, put in some Teflon tape around that, and throw her back in. It was a small, minor leak that we can work with. It's just right now, man, we're like knocking out the small little items that are just kicking our butts, and that's kind of where we're at with this transmission. Still waiting to hear back from the guy about the solenoid pack to see if that's the problem. It is a Sunday, so I didn't want to bug him. I did shoot him a text, but hopefully he'll get back to us. The part is fairly inexpensive. We found it on a diesel website. I want to say like MTS Diesel for like 60 bucks. So we're gonna go from there, but I'm gonna hear back from him before we order the part. So we're gonna keep working on this bad boy. All right, guys, so we're back in the garage. Just a few more things we got to wrap up in here. What you're not going to see is just me changing gaskets. I'm going to take the rocker cover off. I'm going to change the gasket in that. The very top, the crankcase ventilation filter, I'm going to change the gasket in that. Just taking care of some odds and ends things. So, but pretty much with the transmission, we got it wrapped up. I fixed that leak just now that was on the top. It looks like it's a trans cooler line that comes back into the transmission. So I took the fitting out, wrapped it up with some Teflon tape, put it back on, cranked her down pretty good, and then put the transmission cooler line back on. So we thought initially the leak was coming from the gasket of the Mag High-Tech pan, but it wasn't. So it was coming from that, and it was just dripping down the front, coming down the pan and making it look like it was a front leak on the gasket of the pan. So got that figured out, got that taken care of. That's all done. Just really now I'm going to be cleaning up some tools and calling it a day for the day. So once again, appreciate you guys watching. Just a basic recap. We just pretty much got the trans going. We figured out that solenoid was bad, so we're going to put that on order, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. So we figured out it's a overdrive and lockup solenoid. That is what's giving us our issues. We pulled that off. We had about a 1/4 of an inch gap. It was bypassing that fluid. Torque converter wasn't locking up. The truck wasn't stalling. And as you guys heard earlier, it was kind of like shuddering, like it was trying to stall, but it wasn't because it was getting bypassed. So that was a good thing to finally figure out and get it taken care of. So got one of those on order. That should probably be here, I would say, assume by the middle of the week or the end of next week. We'll throw that in, and hopefully we can take it on a test drive and actually be a successful test drive. So drain the fluid out of the pan. We're just sitting there right now with the pan covering up, and everything's good. So I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I hope everybody got the gifts that they wanted or whatnot. The wife really hooked it up. My in-laws were awesome. They hooked it up as well. So you guys look over here. I got a little bit of some cleaning supplies. As you guys know, I got the polished wheels coming, so they hooked me up with some Pro 40, some Zypher Pro 50 Eliminator, some Interior Clean, and then some Honeydew Melon foam wash. I absolutely love using that stuff. So if you guys haven't ever tried it, go ahead and give it a shot. One other thing I want to show you guys that I didn't really record, but I'm taking my time on it, is just there's some weird, something got installed on my truck, but it's like right there. I just don't know exactly what that is. So drop a like for that, and let me know what you guys think it is. And then if you come over here, I used some of that Pro 25 or Pro 50, and I polished up that valve cover. So she looks really good, and I'm happy with how things turned out. But obviously I always love showing off my motor, so my pride and joy right here. All right, guys, I think our next video is actually going to be a walk-around review of the truck. I did one a long time ago when the channel first got started, so now that we're at 1,000 subscribers plus, I'm thinking I'm just going to do a full walk-around review of the truck. So if you guys have questions, let me know. Drop a comment down below of something you'd like to see addressed, but I'm going to try to cover everything I got done to the truck. I have a list in my phone with everything, with prices and everything, but the video that's going to come up next will be the review, but it's not going to have prices. All the prices are down there in the description of every single one of my videos. So the description has everything. It's not going to cover like basic maintenance, like fuel filters, things like that, but everything is down there. So if you guys have any comments, leave them down below, and I'll make sure to address them in the next video. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. We're going to call it quits for the day. Appreciate you guys watching once again. If you guys haven't been here before, hit the like button, comment. Leave me some comments if you guys think you know what the issues are, if you guys have more knowledge about this than I do. The more information, the better. So once again, appreciate you guys watching. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next upload. Have a good one.